what up? I'm just going to do the first question now. Hopefully you can hear me alright. Too far? One of the questions I was asked is, do you have a CrossFit or Olympic lifting routine? And if so, what does it consist of? To be honest, for me, I'm not too much into that, but because I've always been into sport, I think my head's chopped off. But because I've always been in sport, I've always, I guess, incorporated sporting movements, whole body movements, and sort of explosive stuff. So yes, I do incorporate that, especially into basketball seasons. But no, I don't have a specific whole sort of session that revolves around that. But yes, I do stuff like higher reps and circuit work and sort of like high intensive interval training in there, and I incorporate it into my sessions. Potentially even in proper swing of the season of basketball, I probably only do like maybe an accumulated half an hour to 45 minutes of that a week, so probably like 3 15-minute sessions of high intensity interval training. Thanks guys for the noise. So I don't do whole sessions on it, but I do incorporate it. Here he is, the man, the myth, the star boy. I'm a fucking star boy. We are back, so I'm just going to go through these questions. Okay, so I've got another question here. If you look to compete again, what would your best advice be if you've never done it before and going into it for the first time? So guys, I guess competing is like a whole new level, and I think it's a great experience for anyone to go and try and go and do. And really, at the base of it all, for me, the best benefit was really growing, trying new things, trying different things that I'd never would have even thought of trying unless I've gone into comp. But biggest advice is definitely approach or go speak to people that have done it before. Look for some of the things they've done, some of the changes they've made. Definitely, if you've never done it before, invest in some sort of coach. Unless you've got amazing friends that are happy to spend time with you and coaching and stuff like that. You do need to know extensive stuff about nutrition, about how to really dial in with your body, how to maximize, I guess, your potential, your genetic potential, and find your strengths and weaknesses. So you really, find your strengths and weaknesses. Find your strengths and weaknesses that are gonna benefit you on stage, and what judges will look to score you, because you get scored on different things, and how to emphasize those. So that's why having a coach or having somebody that's done it before, or somebody external that's got a really, really good eye on this matter to help you, I guess, with your posing, with some self-awareness stuff, like looking at your body, what's your strengths, what your weaknesses, and because you can't just on the day, depending on what category, you can't just do the same things as everybody else. You really want to stand out. It's the best thing you can do, and really just emphasize your strengths. So I hope that answers that one. So another one here is, what would be the best form of training in regards to weight loss? So it's a really good question going into summer. So weight loss, guys, the best thing I would do is the best thing I could recommend is HIIT training, so high intensity interval training. So high intensity interval training or circuit work, so basically doing multiple muscle groups all in succession of each other. So basically, as an example, you go to one spot, do 15 weighted squats, straight away go to another spot and do 20 push-ups, to another spot and do some kettlebell swings or something like that in succession. So basically what you're doing is, it's the best way of toning, because what you're doing is really activating muscle groups and activating muscles and helping to build muscle groups on a lower level, as well as burning a whole lot of fat, because you do get that cardio factor. So that's what I do going into summer. I'm staying strong and keeping my muscle tissue as well as burning a whole lot of calories. You know, usually when I'm going throughout these circuits, I'm pretty much dripping sweat. You'll see trail of sweat going through, and my heart rate will be through the roof, so there's no need to do cardio in the end, which is good because maximizing time, you know, everyone complains about time. That'll be the best way to really maximize your results in a small amount of time, because generally when you're doing it at a high intensity, you can only really go for about 30-40 minutes, and if you're going hard enough, that's probably all you can do. So hope that answers that question. So another question I got asked is what's the quickest or the best ways to lose fat around, I think the guy worded it as fat around your stomach, or, you know, help try to get your abs to pop or get a flatter stomach for summer. A lot of these questions are relative to summer because it's coming up, supposedly. What you really need to do is, because you can't, you know, on a general level, you can't actually spot reduce. There is things you can do with controlling hormones. It's called biosignature, something. It's got to do with biochemistry and affecting hormones, but that's on a minuscule level and stuff where you can't really spot reduce until a really low percentage anyway. So basically what you're looking at is whole body fat reduction, and the best way to do that, guys, is get a cleaner diet. Either speak to a nutritionist or a coach, or really look into your nutrition and eat cleaner, and then do really demanding workouts. So basically stay away from your isolation exercises like bicep curls or leg extensions or anything like that. Look to your squats, your deadlifts, your presses, anything that's really demanding. So, you know, squat with presses, and look into your high intensity workouts and stuff like I mentioned before. And another one, guys, so basically someone asked as well, you know, is what sort of go-to foods can you eat on the go? So really quick if you haven't got time, especially in the mornings, which is like me. I stick to stuff like, you know, in the morning especially, is chugging a whole lot of water to get my system working. I stick to stuff like, either you could do a shake in a blender, so I'll do like a scoop of protein, or maybe even two, to get my protein levels high nice and early. You know, you can put some fruit in there, maybe, you know, half a cup of oats, something like that, something to keep you full, and that'll usually get me through maybe potentially 3 to 4 hours, which is good, because if I eat breakfast around 8, it'll pull me through about lunchtime. So that's a good one. Or also even just a protein bar from really on the go, just purchase it. Because a lot of times I do run late in the morning, so either a shake, which takes me about 10 minutes in and out, or a protein bar. So I did some editing last night, and I think this video ended up going to like 8 or 9 minutes, and I don't want it to be that long. I think it's I want to make videos nice and short. It's a little bit easier to watch and easier to make as well. So I might edit. God damn! I might edit some in or out, so plus or minus, whatever, but I don't want it to be too long. Anyways, the last question I'm going to answer, so I've got another good question, was, you know, if you're starting out from scratch this summer, what's one thing you could do to sort of help you either maintain weight, lose weight, or never not blow out during this sort of festive season? And one thing is to, you know, from scratch, if you look up the amount of calories required, so that's a really, really good way. If you don't know that, you could just Google potentially, you know, 2 or 3 different things. You can type in like caloric counters, or how many calories do I need, or whatever it is, and then there's a few different links. Try a few different links out, and sorry, my phone's gone off. Try a few different links out just so you can get an average. They'll ask you a few different questions, so go through those. It only takes, you know, a few minutes, and it'll give you a rough estimate. And just like the example of, you know, you always want to know how much fuel you got in your car, so you know how far you can go. You want to know how many calories you have to work with, so you don't overeat or undereat as well. Well, depending on what your goal is. So that's a good way to do it. It's a good way so that you don't blow out. You know, it's very easy just to go over your calories and gain a lot of weight, especially with desserts and sweets and stuff that you probably, you know, inevitably eat this festive season at the end of the year with family and stuff like that. So do that, guys. So look up your calories required, and then here and there you can look up how many calories are in certain things. It's very easy to remember sort of long term. At the start you generally have to look on the back of covers and stuff like that, but don't get too anal with it. But I think that will be probably the best tip going into summer, just so you know sort of where you're sitting at and how much you've got. You know, whether you can afford to eat that cake or eat that extra roast, or you know, probably not eat that extra cookie or whatever it is, or maybe tomorrow you should just go a little bit lower and eat some chicken salad or something like that. But guys, I hope this helped. If you have any questions, do hit me up, either comment below or just inbox or something. A lot of people have like me on Facebook and stuff like that, so all good, do that and I'll help you out as best I can. Guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could like, I don't know if it's down here, like, subscribe, whatever it is. Really appreciate if you guys could help me grow this, because I will, and so we can get out there and help more people. I'll catch you in the next video.